More than 50 years of experience on the silver screen, stage, and your TV. Actor Jordan Rhodes has pretty much done it all, and you can get a look into his career and experiences in his new book. It's called The Life of a Blue-Collar Actor. Well, I have the privilege of being joined by Jordan today and Andrea as well, the owner of Azalea Antiques and Arts. They're going to be holding a book signing with Jordan later this week. Thank you both for coming on.
Oh, listen, our pleasure. Thank you very much for having us.
Well, Jordan, I want to start with you. Your resume really speaks for yourself. You have done a lot, but let's tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Boy, I'll try to make it short, okay? Because if I try to tell you about that, it's all in the book. It's
there
all
we
in
go.
The book. No, I actually started in the theater professionally in the late 50s. I did my first professional summer stock thing in 1957, which will make your younger viewers out there think that I am really an old guy, which I am. But I started that in 1957, and of course I've worked in every field of the business there is. Summer stock, winter stock, off-Broadway theater, touring shows, films, television, because early back in those days, television was a baby in New York. But there were some TV shows that some of your viewers might remember, things like The Defenders, For the Nurses, Mr. Broadway. Mr. Broadway was Craig Stevens, The Reporter was William Shatner, The Defenders was E.G. Marshall. I did all of those shows, small roles. Did my first film in New York in 1963. With Sal Mineo and Juliette Prowse, called, not a really big film, Who Killed Teddy Bear? But that was my first film that I did there, and I'd done a lot of these little pieces, and then the business kind of died, so I moved out to California. And once I moved to California, I got on Peyton Place right off the bat, and I did that for 6 months before being a young, serious actor. I decided that this wasn't really doing me anything to do all these little bitty parts, and so I quit. And about 2 weeks after that, I was parking cars for a living.
Okay, kind of a shift in jobs
there. A shift in jobs, yeah. But then I kept at it, and I met Leo Penn, Sean Penn's dad, and he cast me in a very big role in Marcus Welby, which was the first time Marcus Welby had ever done a show about a real story. Had to do with a young lady, like yourself, a reporter that came down with meningitis. So she was sent to a rehabilitation center where she met this young Bobby Russell, this young truck driver, and he had had a bad accident, so he was in a wheelchair and all that, and they had a relationship going, but it was a really big show, and I got a little nomination out of it, and my career kind of took off from there. And as I say, old actors, we don't retire, we just forget our lines.
There you go, I like that saying.
So I'm still at it, and in fact I did, right before we left New York, I did a thing called Working Class Actors. That's the last thing I did. But I've been just really fortunate. I've worked with people that, as a young man, I watched John Wayne and Gregory Peck and all of those people, and I was able to work with them. Robert Wagner became a very good friend of mine, and my wife's, and his wife, Jill St. John. I worked with her on her very first television show in New York when she was a guest star. I think I was a waiter, I'm not sure, but Jill St. John. And so I didn't even meet her at that time, but of course I met her later, and RJ and I have been friends for, oh Lord,
wow,
about 20
that is incredible.
years.
And of course all that's going to be in the book too. Andrea, what made you decide to bring Jordan to your shop to be able to tell a story? I mean, it is an amazing story, but what made you decide and reach out to him? Kind of talk me through that.
That's an easy answer there. Who wouldn't want to have a local living legend that's right here in your own town that can just tell such fascinating stories? We all want to pull the curtain back and take a sneak peek into what it's really like to be a working actor. We're just so very proud and honored to have Jordan with us this Wednesday. It is this Wednesday at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
There we go. So if you want to learn more, you need to head out to Azalea Antiques and Art this Wednesday to learn all about Jordan. Plus, you get to meet Jordan. How many people are going to say they were able to meet a veteran actor that has done so many amazing accomplishments? Just sitting here talking with you, I'm going to have to check out this book now and read it into detail. Both of you, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about it. And of course, all that you've done as well.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Daniela.